do. So just because I don't, again, I'm still very new to the world of that I'm trying to really dive into. And I think that it's nothing really personal about it. I just don't think I've gotten around to it. I've always thought of it though, because I think it'd be a really cool thing to, just imagine when you're older and you just have like these journals of like your life. And I think that's like a really cool, right? Wouldn't that be cool to have? And like your kids can read it and like
Yeah,
it's passed
bro.
down. It's like they can really see like the life you lived. And I almost started it when I was 15. I had the idea to just do like a series of writing and journals, and just so like when I die, then people would have these, just pull them out and they're like, oh my god, this is when he was 15 years old all the way. And so people can also see like how I felt about them, and people can reflect on we hide so much as people. We hide so much with each other. We don't necessarily we we don't necessarily like get everything out, you know what I mean?
No, no, I can see
Yeah, yeah.
that. I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
see that thing on your smile. To be honest, when you say I don't want anyone to read my diary
Yes,
because
yes,
like I'm
exactly.
like I don't even the like I think I'm expressive, but I'm more expressive in my diary. I don't want anyone
Mhm.
to see my diary. Why you are smiling? What are the things
No,
in
no,
your
just because
diary?
I'm just it's just processing in my head. Like again, like we hide so much from people, and I think that it's important to have an outlet to express those things, right? So I think that having a diary would be cool because again, we don't all the time tell people how we feel about them. We don't
Yeah.
all the time connect with people on how we're trying to connect with people. And I think that it's important, again, go back to the idea that would just be cool if someone could open that and see the way like you truly felt about them, because we'll never usually be able to say it in words, unfortunately. So, but we can always write it.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you. Okay, so I write my diary, and Cayden say that yeah, someone will go and look. I think even though if you can just go and see what you wrote a month ago, a year ago, you will be amazed. What? How? Like because everything, a lot of things happen in our life, and we just forget
Hmm.
what happened. And there are so many good moments when I read my diary. I say,
Hmm.
bro, is this the real Mirage Hussain? No,
Hmm.
like there's like so much mystery, and I don't know. You will be like amazed with everything, like your what you wrote, how was your thought process, and you can see. I think that is one of the great way of having reflection on yourself, like how I was saying whether I was right wrong in place of like I can have seen this thing in this way, and when I read my previous, I see that how mature and I am right now, what I used to be the last
Yeah.
week. Yeah, that's interesting. And Karan, I want to talk like last time when we were talking,
Hmm.
we talked a lot about the self-reflection.
Hmm.
So I was just thinking because my self-reflection is I think I will say that the writing the diary, and in addition, like before going to the bed, I just try to go like what did I do from the morning to till now, like till sleeping. So this is what my self-reflection is. This is how I reflect. What is self-reflection mean to you, and how do you practice self-reflection?
Yeah, you know, I think self-reflection is probably, not trying to like get like super deep here, but like I think it is probably one, if not the most important thing you can do as a person in your life, because self-reflection means that you can grow as a person. And to be able to grow as a person is it's incredible like who you can become. And I think my biggest thing is that that you know if you're this person who has failed at something multiple times, if you're this person who doesn't live up to a standard or something like that, and we all have our own standards for ourselves, and we're going to fall short to a lot of them. But if you can reflect and become a better person, I think that is it's awesome. And again, I think self-reflection to me, it's something that we have to do for people that we also care about, right? Because I think it develops the most when you care about somebody, right? I think we talked about that a little bit, and it was that you can have people that you care about that you disappoint, and that's when the best self-reflection happens, because you care about this person, you have this love for somebody, you have this, this feeling for somebody, and if you disappoint them, if you let them down in some way, the only proper way to respond, at least from, my perspective, is through self-reflection, is through understanding, um, the circumstance and how you can be better, right? You have to be better at your failures. And I say this as a 20-year-old who's still has a lot of self-reflections, and I bet a lot of things to learn, but I think that willingness to learn is the first step of self-reflection. And again, it happens the most when we care about somebody.
Yeah, this is great things that you point out, and I think this is one of the most important things throughout the podcast that I'm very passionate to talk and very eager to talk. So let's jump over there. You
Mhm.
say that a lot of time self-reflection help us to, okay, let me say like self-reflection help us to go and see, I don't know how to say, like what we are, like, okay, let me go here. You say that most of the time we, wait, why did you say like I don't know. Now I'm like getting
Yeah.
emotional. When I get emotional, my English gone. I'm out of my English. Like a lot of time we do not.
Meet a standard and we disappoint.
We
Yes,
disappoint. Okay, okay,
yes.
perfect. We disappoint our. We do not give the, what is that called, credibility, or the things that dissolve the people who are very close to us.
Hmm.
Okay, let me say like this one. Like, thank you very much. Let me say
Yeah.
why. Because last time I was talking with Cayden, and we were talking about these things like how we do not give importance to the what is the exact word? I don't know. It's not the importance. Like, we do not give the deserving credit to the people who are
Hmm.
very close to us, and we take for the grant. Okay,
Yes.
how we
Yes.
take our
Take for
close,
granted.
yeah, how we take our very close people to the grant. Like this week, this couple of weeks, I was working on my startup idea. I was talking with my friend, but I know my mom is like she is my mom, whatever I will do. So I was not talking, even though it's just a 2 minute, 3 minute, and if I just talk that much, even on a week,
Hmm.
I don't talk. I didn't talk her for 2 weeks, and I didn't talk. And where after talking with the Kaden, I realized, oh, this was just the excuse, because we make the excuse where we take the people for the grant. And I was like, no, this is my mom, whatever. Even though I'm not going to text nothing. She will be my mom, and I was like, she was worried, but I was not calling. I was not messaging to her. So when we talk about this thing, then I thought, oh my god, I'm just making the excuse. I have 30 seconds. I have 2 minutes. So I'm very past. Let's talk more about like what you think. The people who are very close to us, we take them grant and we do not give that time, respect, or whatever they deserve. What is your light on this topic?
Yeah, I think it's a big failure that a lot of people, you know, partake in. And it's something that obviously we don't mean it to be intentional because we care about them, right? If we didn't care about them, if we didn't have these feelings towards them, then we wouldn't be taking them for granted because we just truly just don't have that connection with them. But I think what happens is you get so focused, at least for me personally, and I think a little bit from I would say about you too, from talking with you, is we get so focused on who we want to be. We get so focused on these goals and where we want to be in this place, in this success. And a lot of times, I think we're doing it for the people we care about, right? I think that's something that's true. But I think at the same time, we sometimes just have to stop and be in the now, right? It's something that's said a lot. Be in the now, right? You can obviously focus on your goals, but I think it's just an excuse. And I go back to to some friendships that I've had that lasted years, and they were great friendships, and I would be so focused on who I'm trying to be, so focused on these goals, so fixated on this ideal ending, that I was never focused on the friendships that I had in that moment. And I think at those times that you fail, it's hard, and that's when the self-reflection comes in, because it's like, you brought up like your mom, and you weren't able to call her, text her, whatever, you weren't able to communicate with her and let her know these things. And I think that's when the self-reflection that we just talked about prior comes in, where you're like, okay, I need to take a step back because there's people I care about, right? And even though that you're striving to do these things and to be great, I'm sure, for those people that we care about, right? Sometimes they don't fully see it because they don't see the investment that you're in right now. And even if they do, it doesn't hurt just to call them up and say, I love you, I care about you, how are
Yeah.
you doing. It's a 5 minute conversation. And I think sometimes that we have an ego to it. I think sometimes we fall victim to laziness, of course. And I think that, again, I bring up previous friendships that I've had in the past, where it's just, I'm so focused on these goals. Miles in the world being one of them. I'm writing a book, or I'm so focused in football that you never get to tell someone, like, hey, like, hey, like, I love you. Hey, I care about you. And I think that those failures, they're going to add up, and you don't want regret, right? You don't want regret. You want to be able to tell someone that, like, hey, I love you. And I think it's so easy to do, especially if you do care about the person. It shouldn't hurt. It shouldn't be harmful. You should understand what you have now, because at some point we won't have it. And at some point, the success that we're trying to, you know, go for, and I'm not even talking about, this heroic finale of being famous. I'm talking about, there's people who are dedicated to working hard. They have these hard sciences classes and stuff like that, and they're focused on this final exam or something. And that's great. We all have something that we strive for. But I mean, it's like we said, it takes 5 minutes, and I think at least it's been a failure of mine big time, because I've set a lot of goals that I want to have here so far, and I think again you get distracted in your goals, and then you fail to tell the people how you truly feel about them.
Yeah, Kaden, I totally agree with you, and I think I have a very great impact. You have a great impact on me after that conversation. I think we are in a race that is never ending, and
Hmm.
in the race, and we always forget that who help us to come in the race
Hmm.
when we are injured or anything. So who help us to get out of that whenever we are getting ready, we are forgetting everyone who help us to come here, who help us to get out through the trouble. And when we are ready, we forget, we are kicking back to all the people and we are again running. I think in the race there is also one scenario that you can take everyone together and run. Sometimes you
Exactly.
can be very fast running, sometimes you will be like normal running, sometimes even you can walk. And I think at that time we can bring everyone together. But the thing is that right nowadays we are in competing world. Even though our friend whoever is here, we are just trying to beat
Hmm.
and run away the faster, we are leaving everything behind.
And I think what we've also failed to realize is that sometimes they can make you run faster. Sometimes that they can make you move along and cover distance that, again, it's powerful to have people in your corner. It's powerful to have people who want to support you. And if you just give a little bit support back to those people that you care about, then you can run fast. And I'm telling you, you can get ahead, because if you have people willing to support you on your journey, to support you on your dream, then take the support and and keep those people in your life. And if you fail to keep those people in your life, then you have to self-reflect. Maybe you are too obsessed in the goals that you're trying to chase, right? And I think, and I say this as someone who I always say, like, yo, you have to be so obsessed in your goals. You have to be so prevalent in now and win. But I also think that you can move faster sometimes with people in your corner who are willing to support you. And if you have those people, keep them in your life.
Yeah, Kader, I totally agree with you. I do not remember exactly where did I read, but the writer, I think it was one of the perfect way of saying. He said that if you want to have if you, I don't know how to say, like if you are looking for a small distance, you can run. But if you are looking for the very long destiny,
Hmm.
you need to be with the people together so that you can reach to that destiny.
Hmm.
And I think you need, if you are going through the, if even though none of, if you are looking for someone on very top of your career, you need the support of the people. At this time you are running, but you need support.
Hmm.
So I think this is this is the competing, this is also how the world is making us. But for our generation, I think it's very important to understand that we can go together, we can learn together, we can grow together, we can be succeed together. Not success doesn't mean just making someone back and being always on
Hmm.
top. It's you can be on top together.
Exactly, and I think we fail to realize that sometimes. And I think that there is a way to drive yourself to only focus on the win, and I think you can 100% get there. I think that's obviously a lot of people do. But then you get there, and you sit around and you realize you were doing it partly for yourself, but I truly think that we all do it for the people that we care about. And once you lose the people in your corner, what's driving you for the success? What's driving you to succeed anymore? And when you do get there, you're going to sit back and realize, hey, I've made it to the finale, whether it's that job that you always wanted, or it is the fame, and it is, whatever it may be. You're going to sit there and you're going to realize, I just lost someone who was really important in my life. I just lost someone who really cared about me. And that's why I think it's important, right? I mean, we all deal with it. We all deal with loss, and we all deal with, again, this never ending battle for success. But once you get there, what is it going to mean, right? So that's just kind of how I view it, and that's what's important to me. I don't want to lose the people that I have in my corner, at least the people now that I've acknowledged that I'm like, hey, these are the people in my corner. I can't lose them. I need to make sure that this is who I do it for, right?
Yeah, no, thanks, Karen. After your conversation, I also start thinking, like, I was reflecting. I said, bro, I think I am doing something wrong. I need to make the people with me together. And I think there is also, I didn't remember who did I read, but there is also one of the very great quotation, and which we all, like, most of the people are very confused. Success is not a destiny. Success is a path, not a destiny. Everyone thinks success is a destiny. I think that is 200% wrong. Success is a path, not a destiny. You need to enjoy the journey, because what is success? When I was in high school, I need to get the first position. I got the first position. Am I successful? Then I thought, no, I need to go capital city for my higher. So I went there. I came in United States. Still, I'm looking for. I want to be the millionaire billionaire. Tomorrow, if I'm millionaire billionaire, I need to be trillionaire. I will be the. I need to be the very one which is top on top of the world. This is like the journey. The goal is not something. There is not a specific goal. If you are reaching there, if you have a, there is a very good saying. A lot of people say in the Islam, like, if you have a one forest, if you have a forest of diamond, if, like, you have as much diamond as a forest, tomorrow you will wish I would have two forest, a diamond of forest, like, wait, you get, like, if you have this much property today, you wish I will have three times more than
Yes,
tomorrow,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
this is the greed that will never end. So what we are doing now?
Yeah, no, I think what you said is right. Like, again, I think people always want more. I think just that's just natural in life. And again, like we just said, the only way to get out of that mindset is to understand what you have and value what you have. And I think a big thing is actually perspective. So I think self-reflection is great in life, and perspective is another great thing in life. And I say this as a 20-year-old. I don't know what I know. I mean, like, but perspective, and this is something that I always try to keep me humble and try to keep me in the present, in the now, and to enjoy it as much as possible. Is I'm gonna use football for example for a second. When I'm out on the field and we're running sprints, we all hate it. We don't want to do it. You know, whether it's sprinting, whether it's practice. There's some parts of practice or training that is going to be grueling because it is physical. It is physically demoralizing sometimes, and even mentally, because there's so much time and energy that goes into that. I think something that keeps me humble is understanding the perspective of your circumstance. I have an opportunity to go out on practice every single day because that I physically can. But and this is we're going to get a little deep here, but there is a kid somewhere out there who has some sort of medical condition. There is someone out there who is praying to have the opportunity that we have every single day. Yet we are here trying to find a way to complain. And I'm still victim to it. I'll go out on practice and I'll say something like, today's not, it's cold out today, whatever. But there's a kid out there. There's someone out there who truly wants the opportunity, just the opportunity to go out there, whatever their condition may be. They were told that they can never play sports again. They were told they can never do something right. And you can relate this to so many different, you know, aspects of work and life. And we're out here and we're doing okay, right? Some people weren't even given this opportunity of life, but we are, and that's my biggest thing that I try to keep myself humble is all perspective, because I might think, oh my God, right, I didn't grow up in the most fortunate, life growing up, but before I complain about it, and before I complain and I try to make excuses, and I look around, I'm like, there was, I didn't grow up fortunate, but there was a lot of people who grew up less fortunate than me, and I have to be thankful for the now, and what I have. And I think using that perspective keeps you in the moment. It keeps you humble. It keeps you in love with what you're doing, because now when I go out to practice, I'm like, wow, that's humbling. I'm going to go 10 times harder now because I know someone is wishing for me to go 10 times harder because they wish they were here. So they're like, hey, if you're going to be out there, be out there for me. And I think we can always look around and find people to do it for, to play for, to write for, whatever we're doing in life. Perspective is a huge thing to keep you humble, and it's a huge thing to be in the now and help with, I think, some of the circumstances that we were just discussing.
Kaden, this is great, bro. I think you brought a very great perspective. I will toss two things. Uh, oh wait, I forgot one. First, you said that. Uh, wait, I wrote the two things, but I forgot because this was like so depth. So you talk about perspective,
Mm-hmm.
and oh no, your book. You talk about the perspective, and uh, oh my God, this was so good, so great. Like, uh, the one you were explaining something, it was like similar in your book. Like you are very honest about the things in your book,
Mm-hmm.
and the one you explained. But okay, let's me come to the perspective. I think this is one of the best way of seeing the world, and you can be happy and you can be more productive because even though Islam it say that you need to be grateful for what God has given to you. And I think you explain one of the best way that anyone can ever explain how you are grateful for every moment because there are a lot of things to complain. Now we have two eyes. This is one of the
Mm-hmm.
great things that I have. The ask with the people who do not have an eye, who do not have hand, and you take this as an inspiration in your journey when you are going to play the game. You say, "Oh my God, this is like my gift from the God." A lot of people are wishing, and I have, so I need to give like my 200%, bro. I think this is one of the great way of taking. This is the people talk about the optimistic, but I think this is the most optimistic things that anyone can have. I think I always take this as a optimistic. I think that I'm grateful, but you boost up these things. You brought like there are 10 people who is wishing. There are thousands of people who wish they have fortunate to play the game. They have the eyes. Now I need to push myself for that,
Mm-hmm.
bro. You will be like succeed. I have no doubt that you will succeed in whatever you do because you are grateful for what you have. You have the fuel why you need to give your 200% in that task. Dude, this is so powerful.
Thank you.
Dude,
No, I
I like
appreciate
this,
it. No,
man.
I appreciate that.
Bro, you are so
I mean, I
there.
try again. I try, and I think all these things happen. Again, I'm only like 20. Again, I can. I love to take compliments and everything like that, and it's really cool. And again, it's just like stay humble. You know what I mean? Like I try my best to put myself in those perspectives, and doing that again, it's just it
Wait,
allows you to stay so humble.
no, okay, okay. To be honest, like I think in this generation, our
And,
time, people are not thinking about this thing. How you come up with this mindset, this attitude? What make you like? I think this is very special. To be honest, because these kids are like this kid means I'm our
mhm,
generation. They are all over the internet. They are all over in the Facebook,
mhm,
TikTok. They do not have time to think about these things, the real things about the emotion, how the things work, how you can how you can relate with the nature. How do you came up with these things?
I, I think it's another hard one to pinpoint, but I'm gonna say experience in the life that I've lived, and I think a big one. I think you even probably know this a little bit too. Be having siblings, right? That helps out a lot. And living this life that we're in, we have so much opportunity for things to happen, and I'm fortunate to have experienced a lot of things in life that whether it be loss, love, relationships, friends, and you know there's so much I've experienced, and again, I'm only 20, so I feel like I don't want to sound like a no. Like again, I don't know what I'm talking about. Like I'm only 20, but I- you know, I feel like it's worked out for me this far, and again, I try. I have this aspiration to help others because I've seen people struggle. I've seen what it's like for people to struggle, and I would love to be able to uplift them. And I think that's just something that has naturally always happened to me, and I want to strive my best to be, the best husband, the best son, the best brother um, that I can be in whatever I do. Best coach, best writer that I personally can be, because we all have a potential, and can we max that out? And I think it goes back to self-reflection, being able to learn from your mistakes. That's my biggest one. I want to learn from all the mistakes I can, but it's hard to really pinpoint because it's just like life kind of happened, and I just I think I'm very aware and conscious of things happening. And again, I try to enjoy life so much because we only have so much time here, and we're only, and I love meeting people. I love talking to people. It's like, I enjoy it a lot. And I think just those experiences, that willingness to self-reflect, that willingness to talk to people, watching movies, understanding other people's stories, I think it all just kind of correlated and intertwined and connected to make this, I guess, this mindset that you know, a lot of people credit to as well. Like, you know, when I talk to people, they really enjoy just
Yeah,
that
dude,
perspective.
dude. I think, I don't know. I was just thinking. I think now I want to just talk about this topic and just want to hear you for 5 hours. I don't
I
know.
appreciate
I
that.
just want to hear you. Yeah, let's talk about this thing because it's very hard to find at this time to people who talk about the real things like about these types of the dev thing. Everyone is talking about the trending things, Facebook, TikTok, and the outer. Everyone is so distracted, bro. No one has time to think about, reflect about yourself, reflect about the life, reflect about these
And
things.
I think that even goes to what we were just talking about, right? We were just talking about this strive for success and being distracted about what we have now. I think it also goes to the opposite. I think it goes to the latter of that as well, with the strive, or not, I mean not the strive, but the scrolling, right, or whatever it may be, social media focus. I mean, again, I'm a victim to it as well, so I can't like say like,
See,
oh,
everyone.
I don't do that. But I think what happens is we just get distracted. We get distracted, and I'm victim to it. You know, you admitted you were victim to it. I think we all just get distracted, and my biggest thing is just to grow and learn from that. And there's people and again, I think it comes from the experiences. And there's people in your life that you're gonna miss out on. You're gonna miss out on really good people in your life if you just don't look around. And you know, I think there's this quote from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I forget what it is. I really famous quote where it's like, you know, if you don't look around once in a while, you're gonna miss it, right? And it's just so true. You're gonna miss so much opportunity. You're gonna miss love. You're gonna miss, you know, that connection that you have with family and friends. And I think it's very important that we try our best. That's, you know, I think that's all we can do. And so again, just kind of like what we're saying is just, I think it's on the contrary as well. We get distracted in our goals, but we also get distracted in our failures. And sometimes there's just a middle.
Dude, this is so powerful, bro. You are so depth in
I
these things.
appreciate it.
Okay, I will just say one thing and then we will switch to the another topic. Um, I will go again back where we start this conversation, like this topic. I will just say from here, like a lot of time the people whom we love, we care, we take them grant and we just make a excuse that I'm busy here there. So I will just based on my experience and I'm going to say myself, now I have 30 seconds, I have 5 minutes, and the people whom I love, whom I care, the people who care me, I am going to make 30 seconds and 5 minutes for them. From now, I do not have any excuse, bro. We just like I was not talking with my mom. I'm not talking with my siblings because I'm so busy making my making my startup, making my school and everything. But at the same time, I'm wasting more than that time, more than hours in social media, doing other things. So the people whom care, we are just taking them granted. So from now, I'm not going to take anyone as a granted. This is my takeaway.
Yeah, yeah, no, I mean, I hope that, you know,
No, this is my
it's something I
takeaway.
got to learn too, yeah.
No, I am not going to. I have that much time because I reflected on myself. I'm so sorry to the people who are very close to me. I didn't give, but now I learned my lesson. I'm not going to do that one. Okay, this is so depth conversation. I really enjoy this. I think this is one of the best part of this session for me. Let's jump to the next session. Next session or next topic. Karen, you say I think in the very beginning you said you have football and so how is okay? How does the athlete life look like and how much time, energy, or how much time you are investing in football as a football athlete in Springfield College?
Yeah, so
Oh,
it,
sorry for cut up. Let me say because we have
mhm,
international audience. Football means American football.
yes,
It's not
yes.
the soccer football.
hmm
Okay, go ahead.
So, you know, it varies depending on the time of the year, right? So when right now in the spring, uh, you know, maybe it'll be about 2 to 4 hours a day, for about 5 to 6 days a week. That consists of meetings, that consists of workouts, that consists of practice. And then if we're in the summer, it's a little bit more gradual. It's more yourself, what you want to put in the work in. I try to put in a, you know, decent amount of work as well. So, you know, we can stay around again between about, you know, 4 to 5 hours a day of, right, of working out, of trying to get better, um, even your eating habits sometimes have to revolve around it. And then once we get in season, right, fall camp, so this is from, mid-August to the end of August, right? This is about a 3-week period. It's just 12 hours a day. So you're
Are
the
you
whole, yeah,
kidding me,
no,
bro?
and so again, we'll wake up at 6 a.m. We'll have breakfast at like 6:45. We'll go from breakfast to meetings, from meetings to practice, from practice to lunch, from lunch to walkthroughs to more meetings. It's pretty like lengthy day. Your football mentality from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Oh wow,
every single day, 7 days a week, every single day throughout fall camp.
bro, are
It
you
is one of
kidding
the
me?
yeah.
Is it like the dream that I'm having, or is this like the friction story are you telling to
No,
me?
no, it's for real. Sometimes even hard to grasp. I mean, sometimes it's hard to grasp when I was even in it. I mean, you have these moments where you don't even think about life outside of it. You're just like in it. I lost track of time. I lost track of the dates. I mean, you're so invested, and you're all. But you know what? It's a group of people for a common goal, right? Like
Mhm.
everyone wants the same thing, and that's to win. And so that's really cool. But that's fall camp, and then you go into the fall semester, right? Because we're here a little earlier, and the fall semester it is pretty. It's a little bit more too as well. We're about yeah, because we have practice Sundays too. So we're 7 days a week, 6 days a week still. But Mondays, uh, we don't meet. So no, yeah. So it's 6 days a week during the fall semester, and it's about anywhere from 4 to 6 hours a day still
Dude,
during school. So
dude, it feel like I cannot believe.
hmm
Okay,
yeah,
so you said, okay, I will just take the average of 4 hour in a day.
hmm
Average of 4 hour in a day is like a lot.
it's
It's
about
not
the
a
average.
small.
Yeah.
So what do you do in the? You said you guys do basically meeting, workout, and practice. What do you do
hmm
in the meeting?
Yeah, so in the meeting, we're strategizing, we're going over film, we're trying to critique ourselves, we're trying to get better, right? Kind of mentally, right? We're preparing for schemes, and so that's kind of like where the mental aspect comes in. We also like, we call it like brotherhood development and stuff like that, and we try to build each other up. We try to like have, we try to build relationships with each other, which is really cool. We get a chance to build bonds with each other, and when you're closer to someone, you know what? Especially in a game especially in a game like American football, you're going to you're going to want to play a lot harder for them, right? You're going to want to have more of an opportunity. You're going to have more of a want to play for people who you care about, who you want to you're not want to have their back more. And that goes for every sport, right? You're going to have your back more for people that you have a relationship with, and so we do that in meetings as well.
That's perfect. Well, and what do you do in the workout and practice?
Workout. We're a part of a structured program from our strength coaches. Fortunately, here we have really good strength coaches here at Springfield College, and we work out for about an hour, and it could even vary sometimes depending on the day and the workout and where the program is. But we'll go in, we'll lift, we'll sprint, we'll try to get faster, we'll record our lifts, our times, and they track us in our progress and how we can get better.
Wow, this is one of the great things that I just noticed, and this is for a lot of audience who are looking to be in the sport, and basically for the audience who are from the different country like Nepal, India, who are watching this. This is how Springfield College and in USA the games is organized. Like, whenever I think about the game, we think that just going and practice. But you say that you spend a lot of time strategizing
hmm
how you are going to tackle. You guys watch the techniques and these all the things. In addition, they spend a lot of time in relation building, making the brotherhood, understanding each other. I think this is one of the great aspect that the outsider do not see. We do not see that,
hmm
but we just see like you went practice game, that's, but there are a lot of things behind that in order to make that succeed. So these are the couple of things. If you are looking to be in these things, it's not about just playing, running and jumping. It's more about, it's not only about the physical, let me say, like, it's not only about the physical, but there are a lot of things, mental,
hmm
emotional, how you are supported through these all, so that you will be based in that field.
hmm
Wow, this is the
Yeah,
great
no,
things.
yeah, yeah. It's
Actually, to be honest, I was just thinking about the sport as a physical, but
hmm
you just point out there are a lot of things emotional, and these all the things
hmm
connected together to make it like one. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. Again, when you have relationships with people, you're gonna fight harder for them, and I think football, especially, and still a lot of sports as well. I'm just giving this specific example because I play it, but is the schemes are so important, and people don't understand that. Like they watch the games, and it's like, but if you get behind the scenes and you see these meetings and you see what's going on, I mean, it is wild. I mean, there is a lot of schemes and strategies that go on for generations. We're talking like hundreds of years of schemes, not hundreds, but like 100 years of schemes that have developed over time and have progressed, and people still use schemes from like 60 years ago or 20 years ago, or news people coming up with new strategies and new offenses and defense. It's a big mental game as well.
Cayden, bro, I think I can talk and I can listen with you whole day, man. Dude, you are like,
You
uh,
too. I love having
no,
you.
no, you are like, I don't know, wait, I don't know a lot of English word, but you are like do you know if someone is taking drugs, they become addicted and they need.
Hmm.
So you are like a kind of addiction, man. You have a lot of powerful way of saying the things, dude. That's great. Okay, I'm again coming back to our writing wall,
Hmm.
not our writing wall. I'm not very good. Let's go to the Cayden. Your writing wall. Uh, what is the new thing coming in your writing journey? What you are working on? Do you want to give some update to us?
Yeah, I mean, so I know we talked a little bit. There's a kid, so I'm working on a kid's book right now, that actually should be coming out in like 2 weeks. So
Wow.
that's really cool. That's really cool. And then I'm working on my next novel. It's going to be a series of novellas, short stories, about love, right? So I think that's going to be really cool as well to dive into.
Mm-mm.
I started it, and then the kids' book is almost done. So there's multiple things. I think this year specifically, after getting the first book, I wanted to really try to get ahead and put forward a bunch of different books and publish some things and get some stories out there. And then after that, maybe we'll stick to the one book a year. And I say, we'll try to stick to that. But this year, I'm gonna try to do a lot, and those are my two. Those are some two projects.
Okay,
coming
that's
up,
good. What is the name of your kid books?
Yeah, so the kid book I'm currently working on, again, that should be out soon, is called Outside, Outside, Why Outside?
Outside, outside. Why outside? It seems
Hmm.
very. What is that called?
Catchy.
Yeah, catchy.
Yeah.
It grabbed my mind.
Hmm.
What is the title? What do you come up with this
Yeah,
title?
so I wanted a lesson that it was actually me and my friend came up with the idea, um, and and we wanted a lesson that was going to represent something of today's society. Kind of how I mentioned earlier, right? Everything kind of needs a lesson, an idea, especially in a kid's book, right? You think of classic kids books, they always come back to something, and I think that in a world where kids are on their devices, right, all the time, I think that this book wanted to teach the value of putting down those devices and what it means to go outside and what it means to put down those devices in the world around it. Obviously, it's not going to be this crazy intricate novel. It's only going to be like 20-page kids book. But I think I think we were able to get the point across of the importance of each other and putting down those tablets. They have like they call them like tablet kids, iPad kids. So.
Yeah. Okay. So, I would love to know. I would love to hear again, like how this idea came and
Mhm.
use like because when we were talking, you said that the idea came to you. I went to library. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
that
yeah,
part,
yeah.
that
So
part,
yeah,
yeah.
so the idea came me. So I like to write, and my friend likes to draw. So I came up with kind of like this idea of like, hey, let's do a kids book. I was like, I just finished Miles in the World. This was literally like last week, by the way, and I was like, I finished Miles in the World, and I'm working on this next novel, but I don't know, I wanted to really put something forward, and I was like, I just want to keep this going. I was like, I don't want to stop this year, and we came up with the idea of the kids book. He was really down, which was exciting. And next thing you know, we come up with this idea. We come up with this lesson, and we're in the library. And I'm like, hey, I'm gonna start jotting this down. And I was
What
like,
time did you go to
it
library?
was like 2 a.m. It was 2 a.m. Literally, I was in my dorm. I'm on the phone with my friend. I'm talking to him, and I'm like, I was about to end the call too. And next thing you know, I'm in the library 30 minutes later, and I'm writing this kid's book. And I was like, I have no idea how to write a kid's book. That's like that's for like middle schoolers. It's for kids, but we're talking specifically a kid's book where it rhymes and it has these. I was so confused, but next thing you know, it just started happening, and I started rhyming, and it started sounding good. And after I finished the writing that night in like in an hour, which was insane.
Yeah,
You
this
know,
is insane.
which again I try to like, you know, it was pretty cool. I was like, whoa, I was like, this is pretty good. And then I ended up reading it to a couple of friends, obviously the friend that I was on the phone with, and the next day I brought it to a couple of people. They really enjoyed it, and I was like, okay, I think we're good with this. I think this is a good piece. I'm going to edit it a little bit, make sure that I can get the grammar right this time, no typos. And yeah, and we ended up with this idea, and he's finishing up the art, and then we're going to go through with publishing it hopefully in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, dude. Okay, let me summarize. Let me say this in couple of sentences. So the idea came when he was talking with his friend. The idea came to his mind around 2 a.m. He came to the library, and the everything was done by in
Like
couple of
three, yeah.
by three.
Right,
Wow.
3:30,
This
yeah.
are you sharing the some friction story, bro?
No, yeah. Again, so I mean,
Dude,
it was only. I mean, it's a kids book, so it's not like it's this long book or like a novel, right? It's like 20 pages. You know, each page maybe has like 20 words on it. But I mean, the idea of the tell a story was pretty cool in like an hour, especially because it was something different, right? I never even thought of doing a kids book, and it just kind of came to mind. So I will say I did enjoy that. A little pat in my not yet. Let's hope everything goes good, and when I
Yeah,
finish.
perfect. Good luck, bro. I think this is one of the perfect notch to end our today podcast here. So thank you, Kaden. Thank you very much for joining us today. This conversation has full of insight from your journey as a writer to your thought on creativity, family, football, and self growth. Your story is powerful, and I'm sure our listener have taken away a lot from this episode, this special episode. Wish you all the best in your future books, football career, and everything else you pursue. And to our listener, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and stay tuned for more inspiring story on Let's Grow channel series. Until the next time, keep learning, keep growing.